Good noon and welcome to BYJU'S exam prep channel that is dedicated to your success as an MBA aspirant. My name is Vikrant Kathuria. 22 years of helping aspirants reach their dreams, their dream colleges, their dream jobs, getting through interviews. I act as your personal coach here for all things English and communication. In case you are here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We bring in a lot of high quality sessions to take your preparation to the next level here. And of course, if you've subscribed, you can also practice with me where you'll be able to share your sessions, share your answers, etc. with me. And we can of course have a two-way communication going. Hi Angela, Khalamadi, Sonali and Anish. What's up? What's the latest dope? I was out of action for a few days, so I think we have not met for around 4 or 5 days. I hope that your preparation is moving towards the right direction, and just in case it is not, in case you think, you feel that, oh, things are not all right, then we can actually go ahead and look at those things as well. So, any questions, any issues, any concerns before we start? Oh, good morning Deepak, and we have Jai Ho. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm assuming that things are all great and that your preparation has moved ahead smoothly, and that whenever you need us, you of course are able to reach out to us and get solutions to your questions. But let's start on this fine Sunday morning and work on a couple of RC passages. So, directions for the first 8 questions. Read the passage and answer the questions that follow. So actually there are 2 passages. So directions for 1 to 4 and directions for 5 to 8. You need to read these 2 passages and answer the questions that follow. Then, okay, how to prepare for these 5 months? I think we've actually taken these sessions on this channel. You can go ahead and look at that. But otherwise, let me tell you something very specific. Whenever we prepare for any exam, the first thing that we do is we look at the syllabus. Once you look at the syllabus, you divide that syllabus into some units or chapters plus skills. So whatever is a skill, make sure that you work on it every day if possible. And for the remaining units or chapters or learning objectives, divide them into monthly targets. Once you've divided them into monthly targets, pick up that monthly target and divide that into weekly targets. And after that, just make sure that you use a to-do list to take care of those things every day. Okay, and Kaka, your question would require a much lengthier answer. So let's go ahead and spend some time one of these days, maybe tomorrow or a day after. Not tomorrow, that'd be too soon. Let's talk about it in some 3-4 days where we'd sit down and talk about analyzing mocks. So I'll give you a brief overview of that. Okay, and Jai Ho Singh, acha, Sallu bhai, oh, that's where we are coming from. Huh? मैं दिल में तो आता हूँ पर समझ में नहीं आता. हाँ, let's hope that is not true for my sessions. मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि मेरे sessions तुमको तुम्हारे दिमाग में भी आए और तुमको समझ भी आए. So let's go ahead and get ready. So take 3 deep breaths. Ooh, I suddenly feel relaxed. We don't even breathe deeply nowadays, you know. And let's get cracking. So here is your passage on the screen. Once you've read this paragraph, I'll take you over to the next slide. Let me know, but you need to let me know in the comment box that you've read it. So okay, here is the next paragraph. All of us identify with this topic, right? Fan हाँ जी, अग्रिमा थोड़ा कैचअप कर थोड़ा. Okay, fantastic. Kaka, it's prerogative. You've missed out on 1 hour. Agrima, that's good to see. अच्छा ये अरे सॉरी ये तो मैं पिछला मैसेज पढ़ रहा हूँ. हो गया? Are we done through with this? And Kaka, I'm assuming that you are asking me for the meaning of the word, but let's hold it for a very little while and then I will share it with you. You'll know why I am not replying to that right now pretty soon. Okay, Deepak, Ishank, fantastic. So let us dive into the questions. But before I dive into the questions, does that also bother you? How many of us are actually troubled by the fact that the food in theaters is very expensive? Oh Lord. And you know, there has been some research and studies done on that. I'll probably share the link to those studies or articles one of these days. Let me just go ahead and look it up. I shared it a while ago. Okay, so here is the first question for you. And look at this carefully. Same. Actually, food prices can be quite insane. मतलब दिमाग खराब कर देते हैं यार. Okay. Okay, जय हो सोनाली, साई. Okay, oh, all of you are actually siding with C. That saves me the time. So C it is. But let us spend a moment on the strongest argument. So basically, it is a critical reasoning question that has disguised itself as reading comprehension question. This is a question through which we are supposed to strengthen the argument. And when you say strongest argument, or when you say which of the following most strengthens, you may have a situation where more than one answer choice strengthens, but then you need to compare them for impact. So a strongest argument. So what makes an argument strong? An argument whose conclusion has a higher probability of being true is a strong argument. What makes it strong? If the premises are relevant, if the assumptions are reasonable, those are the kind of things that we go ahead and use. Then we also have A. So let's check. So A says cinema hall is not a public property which can be, oh sorry, so majority said C. We also have A as our answer. Let us look at these. So A, cinema hall is not a public property which can be used by the audience in whatever way they want. So it is not a public property, and therefore if they don't allow it, the theater owners, they are right. So does it strengthen, does it provide support? Yes. So A can be our answer. Let's look at C. Cinema halls are private properties whose maintenance takes a toll on their owners. Now tell me something. What is the connection of C with outside food? Are we saying that if somebody is bringing food from outside, it increases the maintenance to such an extent that it will start taking a toll? See, at the end of the day, maintenance is linked with food. If it is served inside, it should ideally lead to the same problem. So why, in that case, why would we restrict it to just the outside food? So private properties, yes, but then there is no connection or relation established between maintenance and outside food, and how outside food is going to take a much bigger toll on the maintenance. Maintenance otherwise is very broad. So if I compare A and C, I think A is definitely stronger. Any other answer that I should look at? B, once again, does not connect it to outside food. All it says is food should not be allowed, but then that food can also be inside bought food. So B is also ruled out. D. D is as true for outside food as it is true for the food that is served inside, and therefore that is also not going to be relevant for outside food. So the best answer for us is option A. A presents the strongest argument for not allowing audience to bring outside food. So A says, we had this popular phrase going on a little while ago, no? Ma life, ma rules. So ma theater, ma rules. That suffices, whereas C does not really connect it with outside food, and that is why A it is. Riya, very good noon. Sri, it's okay, man. You can always read it quickly. I have, in fact, people who join in late, they at times go through the passage really fast and end up getting all the questions right. Oh, Ritik Kumar. Acha, अरे मैं सोचा ये नया नाम कहाँ से आज? Okay, so A it is. It is not C. The answer is A. Here is the next one. Which of the following is a valid inference in the context of the passage? Go ahead and tell me what you think. Okay, Neeraj, I see that. Anish, is there a confusion between C and some other answer choice? If you highlight that, then we can look at that too. Okay, now A says Supreme Court of India is right. and B says J&K High Court was right. The passage is a factual passage. It just tells us that J&K High Court issued a ruling against the theatre owners. Supreme Court issued it in favor of theatre owners when it comes to outside food. Now, whether the ruling is right or wrong of either of these two courts is something that has not been mentioned in the passage anywhere at all, and therefore for A and B our label should be can't say. Those of you who are joining in now, there whenever we look at any inference based question, what do? We go to all the four answer choices, we treat them as conclusions, and we apply label true, false or can't say. Then C on the other hand is true on the basis of the passage, and D is absolutely can't say. We don't know that at all, and that is why you are absolutely right in picking up C as your answer to this particular question. Good job right there. Okay, here is the next one. So remember the third paragraph, or was it the second, where the example of a gym was given? Should I take you back to the relevant part? Here it is. Yeah, the last one. So read this paragraph once and then we will go ahead and look at the question. Okay, so here is the question once again. Why is the gym cited? Okay, so let us see. The question itself very clearly says example. So let's make it a little more generic for you. What is the purpose of an example? Why do we offer examples? So can I say an example is offered when we want to explain a point in a better way, or we provide an example to support a point? So in either case, the purpose of an example is to either explain a point or support a point. So out of the four answer choices that you see on the screen, one option gives you an idea that can be either explained or supported by the example of a gym. So which one should that be? So is it B, as some of us have stated? The purpose of a cinema is different from that of gym, and hence the food available for sale is also different. Well, that's absolutely okay. True that. Does support. And therefore we can definitely go ahead with B as our answer. Okay, here is the next question, and now Kaka would know why I did not give him an answer sooner. So what do you think? What's the answer to question number 4? जरा पहले बता देता तो तेरे से सवाल कैसे पूछता यार मैं ये बाद में. Whoa! Jai Ho, that was quick. Okay. Right. So first up, what do we mean by prerogative? Prerogative is a right. Prerogative is a privilege that is exclusive to a particular person or a particular class. Right. So if I say whether to go out or not is my prerogative, then it is my right. This privilege rests with me to decide. So transparency has got obviously nothing to do with it. Perspicacity. What is perspicacity? Let's look at this word. perspicacity basically means insightfulness. Let me explain this. Spec means to see. You notice I'm wearing spectacles. So spic or spec means to see. Per as a prefix means through. So if a person is perspicuous, then he is able to see through the things in order to figure out their true essence. He is able to figure out their reality. So perspicacity is that quality where you can see through things, bullshit, and figure out the truth. Okay, so you're smart, you're intelligent, you're wise, you're insightful. Unity, you know. And that leaves us with the fourth word, which is entitlement. And entitlement once again means having a right to something, having a right to do something. So that's quite close to prerogative, and therefore we should definitely go ahead and choose D as our answer. So that's our first passage. Let us go ahead and dive into the next one now. Passage 2. Let's make that mental adjustment of switching over. And Kaka, when you said dedicated, what does... यार पूरे सेंटेंस फ्रेम कर दिया करो भाई. एक वर्ड लिख देते हो, मेरा ऑटो करेक्ट काम तो करता है पर इतना ज़्यादा भी नहीं करता यार. हाँ. Anyhow, so here is your second passage on the screen, the first paragraph. This word is pronounced skeptic. Okay, the word is skeptic. We do use it in our day-to-day life. It's a person who doubts the truth of something. For example, there is a friend of mine who says, yeah, whenever he has cold, he says brandy. He drinks brandy. मुझे भी cold लगा, बोलेगा brandy पी ले, brandy ठीक हो जाता है. So he says that brandy can cure my cold, but I am a bit of skeptic. Then I looked at the scientific data and I was like, oh, alcohol actually increases nasal congestion. तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं करना चाहिए ऐसे में तो. काका नहीं, एंटाइटलमेंट एंड डेडिकेटेड आर कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट यार, ये तो नहीं चलेगा साथ साथ. Okay, go ahead and read this. Once you are done, let me know and I'll take you over to the next one. And here's the next paragraph. Actually, this is rather lengthy one. Okay, fantastic. And here are the last couple of paragraphs for you. Done? Okay. Then here is the question for you. So tone, the author's tone towards skeptics can best be described as. Egalitarian. Okay, that's a good one. Egalitarian basically refers to a belief that all people are equally important, and therefore everybody should have the same rights and same opportunities in life. So they believe in equality of everyone. And just to add a little more to it, there have been some noteworthy philosophers, for example. In fact, even here, I think there is an example that is given. So let's use this philosopher king. So Plato in his Republic said that you should have a superior person who is ruling you. But the moment you say somebody is superior, the others become inferior. So they do not remain equals, and therefore that's where it is coming from. So, okay. So now the question is, the author's tone towards skeptics. Now, whenever I deal with a tone-based question, the first call that I take is author's tone was negative, neutral, or positive. So, in this particular paragraph, when I look at this part here, in the first paragraph, it is more or less neutral, right? It just gives us certain facts. But when I look at the second paragraph, it says people should have been more skeptical about certain things. So when we say people should have been more skeptical, in a way we are saying, in a way the author is saying that, hey, being skeptical is all right. In fact, it was something that was desirable, right? Then let's look at the next one. So we know that majority has been wrong in the past. It could also be wrong today. So skeptics also say that same thing, and therefore once again the opinion of skeptics is something that the author approves of, or their approach is something that the author approves of. In D, he says we cannot say that skeptics always favor democracy over other political regimes. Yet, but look at this now, skepticism has an egalitarian impulse. They believe that everybody is equal. So in a way, that's democracy. They definitely do not believe in some of those other forms where some people are considered superior. And then look at the last sentence. Once again, author favors being skeptical, right? So if I have to label it negative, neutral, or positive, I'd say the author is positive. Now let us start eliminating. Vituperative. Vituperative basically means angry criticism. Okay, criticism where you are very upset, when you are angry, you shout. You may also end up using harsh words. So vituperative is negative. Skeptical is already a negative word. Admiring is positive. Critical is negative. And because the author's tone favors skeptics, we should go ahead and choose C as our answer over some of those other answer choices. So I hope, Kaka, that gives you your answer too. He's not being critical, he's actually being supportive. Although I think I should have stuck to using the same spelling that was used here. It's just an alternate spelling of skeptics. Okay, so we just have to look at the word choice and the overall stance in order to figure that out. Here is the next one. Question number 6. Which of the following is true according to the passage? Shri, when you are critical, you essentially point out the flaws or the shortcomings, no? So if I am critical of a movie, it means that my overall opinion is I am I'm not in favor of that movie, right? Okay, so A, false. B, false. Omniscient basically means knowing everything. Okay, so CN of science basically means knowledge, omni means all. So omniscient is somebody who knows everything. But skeptics are not like that. In fact, there is a part in the passage where skeptics think the part of being intellectually honest is admitting the limits of one's knowledge. So they believe that, okay, we can have limits on our knowledge, so they're definitely not omniscient. C is true and D is once again false. The passage uses the word, here it is, illegally promoting. So obviously you were not doing anything that was lawful. And thus you are absolutely right in picking up C as your answer to question number 6. And here is the next one. Question number 7. What's your take? Choose the odd one out and mark that as your answer. Go ahead, think it over and let me know. Okay. Odd one out. Okay, so let's begin. A, doubtful. If you're doubtful, you're not sure. Cynical. If a person is cynical, that person will not believe others, right? A cynical is somebody who believes that people are only interested in themselves, that people would only think of their own benefit. And therefore, they're not sincere when they talk to you or when they offer advice. So somebody who is cynical will not trust others, will not go by what they say. And then questioning. Questioning is again somebody who does not trust something that is brought to him. He'd rather question, figure out the truth, and only then decide whether to believe it or not, believe in it or not. And then you have convinced. If you're convinced, there are no doubts. So if you look at A, B, and C, all of the three words show an attitude where you are not certain, where you do not accept something that has been given to you, whereas in D, you've accepted it, and therefore D should be the odd one out. If you are critical of something, you don't like it. On the other hand, when you're admiring, admiration basically means praise. So you're praising. And when you praise something, you very clearly like it or you are in favor of it. So they actually show two contradictory impulses. I shouldn't say contradictory. They're like, they show attitudes where one is negative and the other is positive. I am withdrawing my comment on contradictory because you can be critical of a person yet admire that person. But there the difference would be, you would be critical of some particular statement, some particular act or creation, whereas overall you may admire him for certain other qualities. Ishank, in a way, yes. In a way, yes. The only commonality is that all the three are essentially synonyms of being skeptical. That's okay. And here is the 8th one, which is not something that you would find separate from the passage. Sri, kind of, yes, but I think Ishank did have a point. And you can give that question even without the passage and still expect people to answer. So it was not critically dependent on passage. Okay. Ronaldo, artist, man. But you guys are absolutely spot on. The correct answer is indeed C. The other three, A, B, and D are true. Is C false? We don't know. C is actually can't say. It's not false, but it is going to be the best answer choice, and I'm really glad that you've managed to figure that out. Okay, so that's about the two passages that directly relate to our preparation for the exam. And here is something that I want you to keep in mind. So a lot of times people look at risk and ask, what are the odds that I will succeed? A different way to look at the risk is to ask, what is the worst thing that would happen if I fail? And in most of the cases, that will help you take the right call. So that's it from me today. If you enjoyed the session, if you liked working with me, don't forget to like the video and do share and subscribe. For more practice, you can head over to BYJU'S Exam Prep app, where we upload a section-wise quiz every day. And in case you want to get a great percentile like some of these individuals who worked with us, you can go ahead and join us, prepare more closely with us. And to make that decision easy, we are giving you a free trial, and there'll be a scholarship test on 9th of July that can shave off up to 90%. In case you need me after this session, do not hesitate in reaching out to us through our Instagram channel or Facebook group or Telegram group. And of course, I'll see you once again tomorrow at 12. Sai, yes, I think you need to keep varying the difficulty level, yeah. When it comes to these sessions, there are some people who've just about started, and then there are some like you who do come here every day. और ध्यान है ना, बीच बीच में बहुत मुश्किल पैसेज भी लेकर के आए हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. और आज भी if you look at the accuracy rate, majority of the people definitely got 2 questions wrong. So right, remember 1st and 6th, 7th. Riya, we can definitely increase the frequency here. Otherwise ये रहता है अपना ना, we just like to spend 30 to 45 minutes together, practice some questions, and we can definitely look at increasing the frequency. और देखो practice के लिए अपन रोज section quiz डाल रहे हैं यार ऐप पे, रोज सोचो. So plenty of questions, but as the exam gets closer, we definitely try to increase the frequency as well as the numbers. Okay, so that's it from me today. I look forward to meeting you guys once again tomorrow. And until then, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch. See you at 12 there. Take care. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.